Abraham stands as a towering figure in the history of the world's monotheistic faiths. To Jews, he is revered as Avraham, the founding father of the Jewish people. Christians recognize him as a pivotal figure in salvation history, a spiritual ancestor to Jesus Christ. Muslims too hold Abraham or Ibrahim in high esteem, recognizing him as a prophet of God and an ancestor of Muhammad. Few individuals, if any, can claim such a widespread and enduring legacy across multiple faiths. Abraham's story, as told in the book of Genesis, begins in the ancient city of Ur. God calls upon him to leave his home, his family, and everything familiar to embark on a journey to a new land. This land, Canaan, would later become the promised land for the Israelites. Abraham's unwavering obedience to this divine call marks the beginning of his unique relationship with God. Abraham's journey was not merely geographical, it was a spiritual quest. He was called to leave behind the old ways, the idolatry of his ancestors, and embrace a new way of life centered on the worship of one God. In a world dominated by polytheism, Abraham's steadfast belief in a single, all-powerful deity was both radical and revolutionary. Central to Abraham's relationship with God is the concept of a covenant, a sacred agreement that would have profound implications for generations to come. This covenant, established between God and Abraham, serves as the foundation for Judaism. It forms a crucial element in the Christian understanding of God's relationship with humanity, and it holds deep significance for Muslims as well. God's covenant with Abraham contains several key promises. First, God promises Abraham a land, the land of Canaan, as an inheritance for him and his descendants. Second, God promises Abraham countless descendants, a vast progeny that will inherit this land and become a great nation. This promise of nationhood of a people chosen by God lies at the heart of the Jewish identity. The covenant is sealed through the ritual of circumcision, a physical sign marking Abraham and his descendants as belonging to this special covenant relationship with God. This act of circumcision serves as a constant reminder of the promises made and the enduring bond between God and Abraham's descendants. Perhaps the most awe-inspiring element of God's covenant with Abraham is the promise of countless descendants. God uses vivid imagery to convey the magnitude of this promise, comparing Abraham's descendants to the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore, innumerable, uncountable. This promise, however, faced an immediate challenge. Abraham and his wife Sarah were elderly and childless. Years passed, and Sarah remained barren. Doubt crept in, testing the limits of Abraham and Sarah's faith. Yet despite the seemingly insurmountable odds, they clung to the promise God had made. Their unwavering belief, even in the face of human impossibility, stands as a testament to the power of faith. Then, miraculously, Sarah conceived and gave birth to a son, Isaac. Isaac's birth was more than just the arrival of a long-awaited child. It was the fulfillment of God's promise, a tangible sign that God's word would be kept. Isaac became the embodiment of God's faithfulness, a living testament to the enduring nature of the covenant. Section 4. The Ultimate Test. Just when it seemed that Abraham's faith had been rewarded, his loyalty to God was put to the ultimate test. God commanded Abraham to take Isaac, his beloved son, his only son, to the land of Moriah and offer him as a sacrifice. This command must have struck Abraham to his core, challenging everything he held dear. The anguish Abraham must have felt is unimaginable. How could God, who had promised him countless descendants through Isaac, now demand such a sacrifice? Yet, despite the agonizing nature of the command, Abraham resolved to obey. He set out for Moriah, Isaac by his side, prepared to do the unthinkable. As Abraham raised the knife, ready to carry out God's command, an angel of the Lord intervened, staying his hand at the last moment. God provided a ram, caught in a thicket, as a substitute sacrifice. Abraham had proven his unwavering faith and obedience, his willingness to place God above all else, even his own son. Section 5. An Enduring Legacy. The story of Abraham's near sacrifice of Isaac is deeply symbolic. It underscores the importance of faith and obedience in the face of adversity, even when God's commands seem impossible to comprehend. It also foreshadows God's own sacrifice of his son Jesus in Christian theology, a sacrifice made out of love to redeem humanity. Abraham's legacy is one of unwavering faith, obedience, and trust in God. He is remembered as the one who answered God's call without hesitation, the one who believed God's promises even when they seemed impossible. He is a model of righteousness, a shining example of what it means to walk with God. For Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike, Abraham's story serves as a source of inspiration and guidance. He is a patriarch, a prophet, a father in faith whose life and example continue to resonate thousands of years after he walked the earth.